Ladies and gentlemen, Sharp Stories, episode 309. Welcome to yet another week. I am Jay McInnes with the Sharp Real Estate Group at Oakland Realty. And today's discussion, does CRA actually care about mortgage fraud in Canada? I think not. And your 5 minutes starts right now. Okay, so Ron Butler, have you heard the name? Butler Mortgages, I believe. Large and outspoken, that's why I love the guy, voice in the mortgage industry based out of Toronto, put out a video this week about CRA and just the lack of that you would expect. So Ron has sat down in front of Parliament Parliament committees three times, to try and get rules implemented to stop mortgage fraud in Canada. He's been a big proponent of this. Mortgage fraud in Canada, I've heard about less now, but since I started back in 2007, it's out there. And the main mortgage fraud that we're seeing that he's trying to get things amended around is falsified documents to prove higher income than one applicant may actually have. So that's the issue. That's what's going on that he's trying to solve from the federal level and move down. So why would someone do this? Obviously, they falsify documents to qualify for a higher mortgage amount or to qualify for more advantageous mortgage terms. Why would they want to do that? Obviously, to buy more house, to renovate a property, to buy and flip a property at better details. So that's what's going on. So there was apparently precautionary measures in place now, which there are, but that are not satisfying the issue at hand, not cutting it, as they would say. So back in 21, 22, when the market was crazy, apparently this issue was much more predominant than it is today, when real estate in general has toned down quite a bit. So what did Ron do? Ron convinced the federal government, basically the chair, I believe, of the finance committee, to connect the banks with CRA. No individuals, no mortgage brokers, no realtors, connect the CRA to the lending institutions to clarify one line, and that's line 15,000 on your tax return, which highlights your income. Is that in conjunction with the documents you are receiving from the applicant? Yes or no? If it is, we're good. If it's not, we're not. So one number verification. Side note, the IRS down south has been doing this for over 18 years, so it can be done. So basically the chief of staff of the finance ministry, who it was, got this pushed through and pushed to CRA. This is what we need to do. CRA, it's now in your court. What did CRA do?
So it gets turned over to CRA. So what happens at that point? Fuckery ensues! Yes! Total CRA nonsensical horseshit immediately springs to life, okay?
CRA created more bureaucracy, of course, what the government does best. Even when dictated from the federal level down, they stopped the progress in its tracks. How did they do that? Well, they have 60,000 employees and zero common sense, as I think most will agree. So what did they do specifically? They restarted the approach and the process. They surveyed 3,000 potential stakeholders. Who the hell a stakeholder is here, I don't know. Waited for responses. Thought about it, sent out feedback to the stakeholders. 3 months, 6 months goes by. Then they do studies, they distribute those, blah, blah, blah. Bureaucracy ensues, which they have been known for forever. And of course, everything gets stopped in its tracks. So at the end of the day, do they not care about mortgage fraud in Canada? With all the fraud we're seeing at government levels coming to light, as of late, you would think they would, specifically with the narrative that's being pushed out there that they care about housing. And obviously, this is going to dramatically affect the price of housing if people are going in with falsified documents and incomes, pushing things higher. So the government doesn't seem too worried about it, unfortunately. It's just like you tell your kids, actions speak louder than words. So is CRA actually willing to take the steps forward on anything more complex than this. If this is one line of work to be done, what if something else comes on their plate that's actually a complex circumstance that actually has complex results needed? It's just one more thing to keep in mind. Actions speak louder than words.
Fuck right off, you people at CRA.
And I will see you next week.